In this video, we're going to do a deep dive into the Car Club website capabilities that RumbleSeat offers. So let's begin. Here I am logged into my RumbleSeat account, and you can see the Car Club's workspace here. And you'll notice when I click, I get three submenu options. So by default, when you click Car Clubs, you'll be delivered to My Clubs. And as the name implies, these are the clubs that you have joined or that you're affiliated with. Now you can see the title of the club, description of the club, and then you'll see your permission level, whether you're an admin, moderator, club owner, or member. You also see the current state of that website, whether it's published or, of course, if that's missing, that means it's unpublished, meaning maybe you've started to create your club website, you haven't completed it and published it to make it available to other RumbleSeat users. Now, of course, from here, I can click on the title of the Car Club to go directly to that club. And you also notice that there is a stacked menu here where you can do things like manage the club, visit the website, visit the discussions forum. You can also choose to leave a club if you're a club member and you wish to resign your membership. All right, so let's now talk about the next option, which is events. Now here, you'll have the first tab is My Upcoming Events. So let's say that you've joined 3 car clubs, you've registered for a series of different events. Any event that you've registered for that is upcoming, meaning it's in the future, it will display here. So it's a reminder of the events that you can look forward to. Of course, past events, these are the events you've registered for and that are now past. So this is kind of a nice historical ledger of all the events that you've participated in. My Club Events. This is a list of all the events that are currently available to you to register and join. So of course, here you can click register, you can view the event agenda. And if you click on any of these, you'll go directly to the Car Club website and to the event detail page where you can see more information. You also notice the ability to add to calendar. So this is a great way to keep all of these events on your local calendar. So if you're on your desktop and you download, this will work on Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, and of course, sync all of that important information to your iPhone or Android device to make sure that you don't miss out on an important club event. Now there's the fourth and final tab, which is Public Club Events. Now these are all of the public clubs that you're not currently affiliated with, and these are all upcoming events. So this is a great way for you to explore other opportunities maybe in your market. Maybe you're going on vacation and you have some extra time and you want to see a cool event, in that particular market. So there's a filter by location. You can also filter by club. So it's a great way for you to really drill down and find cool events in your area. All right, the next option here is Browse and Join. And of course, this is a sort of a directory of all of the current, publicly available car clubs in RumbleSeat. So a great way for you to join additional clubs to, again, expand your interests, to expand your passions. So we invite you to explore regularly the different clubs that are available, and you can simply click join to be able to join that particular club and engage with it as a member. So let's go back to My Clubs and let's talk about the tools and capabilities and features for you as a car club admin, owner, moderator, and also as a member. So we'll talk about it from 2 different perspectives. Now, before we do that, I should probably talk about the ability to create a car club. So from My Clubs, you'll notice at the top right, there's a button that says Create Car Club. And if you click that, this is your ability to, in 2 steps, create your own club. So we certainly encourage you as you're looking to browse and join clubs, maybe there's a club that doesn't exist in your market for your interest. Maybe you're a steam engine enthusiast or maybe a vintage motorcycle enthusiast and you want to create your own dedicated club. Very easy to do. You just give your club a name. You give it a description, and that's going to be publicly visible in the Browse and Join directory, so users know exactly what your club is all about. We certainly invite you to add keywords. This helps as users are searching for a club. So certainly consider adding comma-separated keywords, like vintage motorcycles, comma, Indian, whatever brands of motorcycles that you might want to attract. Now, next, you can upload a car club logo, and if you don't have one, we will automatically establish your car club name on your website in text, and you can always upload that later. As you click Next, once you've configured these first steps, and I'll just do a quick little example here, I won't fill in all this content, but you can choose the car club color to represent your main color on your club site. And again, you can change all these features later. So, you don't have to get it exactingly on the first try. You can always edit this information later. Club location, where's your club located? Are you in a city? Are you a statewide, regional? Are you international, national? You can make that definition here. And of course, membership enrollment. There's really 3 options for memberships. So public means anybody can join your club. And of course, you can have free memberships, you can have paid memberships. So you could have a public club with both free and paid memberships. By request, this means that somebody can express interest in joining your club. They can, sort of begin the enrollment process, but ultimately you as a club admin staff will approve or reject. And I want to point out that as you're, we'll get to these features later, you can also create custom questionnaires as members go to join your club. So you can collect extra data. So if, maybe you're a pre-war club and you want to know about a member's potential collection, you could solicit for that information. So it's a great way for you to get the info you need to be able to accept or reject a possible candidate for your club. Now, invite only, there is no ability for someone to join your club. They have to be invited. So if you have a truly private, exclusive club, there's many ways in which you can invite somebody to join your club, and we'll talk about those tools in a moment's time. Next, you want to define a club and group category. So with that said, choose a main category. So again, back to the example, maybe we're a vintage motorcycle club. Choose motorcycles, and then you can choose a secondary, what type of sort of subcategory, cruisers, cafe racers, custom builds. Choose the ones that are most appropriate. So in this case, vintage and classic motorcycles would, go to my example that I gave earlier. And again, this is just going to help users, whether they be searching or browsing. This is really going to help to ensure people are finding the right clubs to join. So it's just helpful information. Now, again, here's the ability to construct your custom questionnaire and custom memberships. You don't have to do it here. You're free to do it here. But when you go to create a custom questionnaire, you can choose a type of format. So maybe you want to do a multiple choice, prompt, or maybe a drop down, or you want to collect address. So here you can choose a prompt, and then you can define the information you want to collect. So you could put, describe your collection, and you could make this a paragraph field, and you can make it required. It can be optional. I also want to point out that you can create data fields that are for internal use only for the club administrator staff. So let's say that there's a bunch of extra information that you want to organize with every single member. You can designate this as a custom field that's only for internal use, and you can populate that data later in the member management area. We'll talk about that as we progress. So again, building out custom questions to collect data from members as they join. Things like, what's your birthday? Maybe you want to do a club birthday, recognition using some of the other tools inside of RumbleSeat. Maybe collecting family member information, whatever information you want to gather, this is a great way to do it. Now, membership types, this is the options that members will have. So in this case, I can do lifetime member, associate, junior member, whatever it might be. I can describe it, lifetime member, one-time fee to become a lifetime member, whatever you want to define. And then you have 4 different options. You can do a no-fee membership, so it's free. You can do a calendar year, so every year from January 1st to December 31st, there's maybe a fee. Maybe it's $99 a calendar year. You can also choose to prorate. So if a member's joining mid-year, they're obviously going to get a discount because we'll prorate it. So that's at your choice. Next, there's a 1-year membership. So again, that is a 1 year based on the year they joined. So of course, they'll expire at different intervals depending on when the member joined. And then lifetime. So that's a one-time payment. And that will be a member for life with no future membership dues. Now, I want to point out that RumbleSeat has integrated with really the best payment processor currently available, and that's Stripe. Stripe is used by so many large organizations to power digital payments in a secure manner. And so RumbleSeat has teamed up with Stripe in order to facilitate, again, secure payments. So as your members go to buy a membership from your club website, their payment is processed securely, it's encrypted, it's safe, and of course, the payment will deposit to your checking account that you've assigned to your Stripe account. So RumbleSeat is not facilitating or handling payments. We're simply integrating with the world's leading secure payment processor. And I want to point out that these are set up on sort of a subscription basis. So for one year membership, the member would be enrolled effectively in an annual membership. So that would renew automatically. Of course, they would get acknowledgement before that renews so they could choose to opt out. But point is, from reducing sort of the administrative burden and headache, it's nice just to let members join a club and, payments are handled automatically moving forward unless they choose to opt out and quit. There's also a control here to allow a family member, spouse, or partner to get an associate membership. So maybe you want to do a 1-year membership that also includes a family member or a spouse. You could designate that, and the member has the ability to opt for that when creating their account. I want to point out this is a preview here you're seeing on the right. So as you configure these membership types, the preview here is just meant for you to see exactly what your member will see when they're creating their membership. So of course, I can create that membership type, and now that is available here. I could drag and drop to arrange the order in which they display. And when you're done building this out and you're happy with the way this looks, you can simply click Finish, and your club is going to be generated. And then you'll have the ability to log in and edit that club. All right, so back to my clubs. Let's now go to what we call the front end. So that's actually the Car Club website. So here we are at that club website. And again, I'll introduce you to the control panel. These are all of the features, functions, and settings to manage virtually everything related to your club. And there's 3 key areas. There's management, there's the homepage, so all the things that affect the homepage of your club website. And then there's additional features. This is all of the features and functions that are optional. You can enable, disable, configure. That's all available to you here. Now, in the future, we will continue to add new enhancements and features, and those will all be managed from this area. So here at the very top, you have the ability to view your club website as a member. And so if you click at the very top, that toggle that says Edit or View, the view mode, you're seeing exactly what your members will see when they get to your website. Of course, the edit mode, this is for you as a club admin to be able to have all the edit function. So just a quick way to really just get a good understanding of what members see by clicking View. Now, you'll also notice Publish Club. This is the toggle that allows you to publish or unpublish your club. And publish means that it's available for other RumbleSeat users to browse, to join. So think of it as your club website is public and open to the world to be able to interact with. You can, of course, unpublish if you're doing maintenance or adding content. So you're sort of like taking it offline temporarily to do maintenance. Now, website settings, these are all the controls from when you first set up your club. So if you want to change club color, change the description, all of that can be edited when you go to website. Members, these are all the members in your club. So here is your member roster. You can download your roster. You can search your roster. You'll notice that there's an edit action. So here you have the ability to click edit, and you can manage all the data for that particular member, log notes, see their payment information, change their membership type. You can cancel a member, ban a member. All of the necessary function to manage members is going to be available for you here. Now, you can also manage invites. So as you invite members to your club, all those invites will be here where you can resend, you can copy a link, and each invite link is tokenized, so it's unique to that member. You can cancel an invite. As soon as a member leverages their invitation, they'll be moved from the invite list to the roster. Also requests. So as people are requesting to join your club, you can accept them or reject them. And of course, if you reject them, they'll live in the rejected bucket, just as a way to organize and manage data. Now, in terms of adding new members, there's really 3 key ways to, there's actually 4 ways for members to join your club. They can either join by clicking the join button on the front end of your website, and they can go through the process of answering the questions you've designated, choose their membership level, make payment, and they're in. Now, if you have a private club, you can choose to either manually create a member. So you as an admin can log a member. Remember those internal fields that you can create, the internal questionnaire? That's where you'll have access to be able to configure data when you're manually creating a member. And once you're done creating a member, you can send an email invitation. So then they're free to, start using their membership. So we've talked about 2 of the 4 ways to really add members. The next way is a bulk upload. So you can effectively, let's say you're moving from a third-party system to RumbleSeat. You can take all of your club member data and you can bulk upload it into the system and create all of your members. So let's say you have 300 members in your club. You can migrate all that data seamlessly inside of RumbleSeat using our template. You configure your template, you upload your template, and all of that data will then be mapped into RumbleSeat. So that's the third way. And the final way is to invite a member. You can either copy and paste a message into, say, you can message them on Facebook or email, whatever means necessary. You can copy paste a list of email addresses or even RumbleSeat usernames, and you can customize a message. And then you can define the permission level. So you can invite as a member, you can invite as a moderator who has additional permissions, and you can invite as an administrator. And I will point out whoever first creates the Car Club website is designated as the owner. That's the top of the food chain in terms of hierarchy inside of the system. So that's how you manage members inside of RumbleSeat. And of course, membership management, location, enrollment options, the questionnaire, all those paid membership levels, all of that can be managed inside of membership. And of course, payments, this is where you'll enable your Stripe payment account. Again, this is done on a one-time basis. So you can see here some information about Stripe. You can go to set up your Stripe account. It takes no time whatsoever. And again, the monies will deposit to your checking account that's associated to your Stripe account. So let's go down to homepage. These are, again, all the features you have to customize your homepage. You can do a website announcement, which displays at the very top of your website. So you can assign a button, an external link. So this is a great way to do an announcement or just gain attention because it's a bar that displays at the very top of your website. As we make our way down to some of the additional homepage features, you have a heading. So in this case, this is our heading. So you could put in a welcome message, a subheading. Of course, you have the ability to add custom photos and video. You can arrange the order in which they display. So a great way to add some really cool eye-catching media as a slideshow on your homepage. Moving our way down, you can also add a custom homepage content. So this is a really great way just to have custom video, custom image, custom text. So homepage content is really like a custom content block, if you will. You also have a mini photo slideshow. So if you want some additional photos to display, and then you can also choose to display social media links. So let's say that you have an Instagram account for your Car Club website. You can put in the link of your club site, and you can choose to display social media links on the bottommost portion of your club site. So making our way down to additional features, club discussions. So this is the ability for you as a club admin to create discussion categories. And this is, think of it as structuring the way all of your topics will be handled. So you have sort of groupings, right? You can create a category which contains discussions, which then contains topics. So this is a great way to really organize things like maintenance tips, and then have a bunch of discussion related to maintenance. And so just a great way to, again, sort of as a hierarchy, to organize the discussions that will happen on your Car Club website. And again, you can make your club settings either public, so anybody visiting your club website can see the content. Of course, they would need to be logged in and be a member to be able to interact, like leave replies or react, like with emojis, things of that nature. Or member only, meaning it's truly hidden behind a password and they need to be logged in to interact. Of course, your club marketplace. This is the ability to have a sort of a club marketplace of auctions and classifieds. So this is a great way for club members to be able to sell on a classified auction basis different items. Excellent way to keep club members engaged by having a club marketplace enabled on your club site. Now, events. This is a really powerful way to manage all the different events for your club. So in terms of creating an event, it's really simple. If you click on events, you'll have this little pencil icon where you can edit. You can also create an event. And, so you structure your event title. You can choose the time zone in which the event will occur. You can make a repeating event. So let's say that you're doing the same sort of meetup on a monthly basis or annual basis. You can build it once and have it repeat on whatever frequency you want. You can set the time and date for the event. You can designate the type of event, the location, and the venue. So you can put in the address and then the venue. So this could be, the direct address of a hotel, and then you could name the hotel. Privacy. It's possible to have events that are public. Maybe you want to do events that are open to the public to gain interest in other members, or you can make it truly private, so only members can see it and actually register. You can add photo content or video content. You can add a description for your event, and then choose the registration settings. You can use RumbleSeat to handle registration, so users would register in RumbleSeat, including making payment if there's a payment associated. You can even link to an external event. So let's say there's a national club that's hosting an event, and you want to promote that national event, so you can link to it. You can set up the registration window of when folks can register. So maybe it's a certain date range where you have to register between X dates. You can define that. Moving down to some of the important things, you can structure the agenda. So building out, all the different, sub events that might be happening. So maybe there's a breakfast meetup. You could designate all the information that attendees would need to know about, where breakfast is, then when maybe the tour begins, when the happy hour event, whatever it might be. You could structure all that information and make that available from the event detail page. Now, when you're done building your event, you can also choose to send an email to all the club members to say, there's a new event, you can now register for that event. So again, great way to communicate with club members. So really powerful feature function built in to the events that are available. And again, this is a great way to organize that all in one platform seamlessly. All right, back to the control panel. We'll talk about some of the other features here. For your media gallery and for your library, these are basically the same thing. They're just designate different types of files. So your gallery is going to be a way for you to create folders or simply just upload content by clicking the plus icon. You can upload videos and photo directly, or you can even upload content directly from a URL. So let's say you want to add a YouTube video, just paste in the YouTube video, and that would then be associated to your gallery. Again, you can build folders, great way to sort of, categorize and document things for a specific, club event. All of that information will be here. Members can like the content. They can also comment on the content. They can download the content. They can view it in a lightbox to get a high fidelity view of that particular file. And all the same features are true with library. The only difference is, think of gallery for photos and video. Library's really been optimized to handle things like documents. And we even support things like spreadsheets, actual documents like a Word doc, PDFs. But this is a great place to put in things like technical diagrams and owner manual, more document-driven artifacts that you want to keep as part of your club. Now, next is your registry. So you as an admin have the ability to edit your registry. So you can do things like drag and drop the order in which registries display, edit registries, hide something from the registry. You can choose to add a manual entry to your club registry. I also want to point out that members have the ability to take items in their RumbleSeat account from their garage and actually share that with the club as a registry. And of course, you as a club admin would get notification of that, and you could choose to accept or reject. So some really powerful ways to add items in multiple ways into your club registry to maintain a really neat, unified club registry. Now, of course, your member roster will display here. You can, of course, manage members. Great way to click on any of these users, and you can actually see their profile page by clicking on their name. So I believe that's the core function. I guess a few other things, you have an About Us page, so a great way to put in custom content to communicate with potential members. You can enable a contact form, and this would allow, maybe a prospective member or even a club member who has a question to send you a secure message. We've integrated some technology to help eliminate spam and bots and things of that nature, so you won't be inundated with nonsense. That is about it for car clubs. This has been sort of a review of the perspective of clubs from both the administrator, moderator, owner, admin, and of course, from the member perspective. As you can see, this has a lot of capabilities for really every party that's involved to make their life easier and just have a better experience. But the most important thing here is you have a single login that allows you to go from club to club. So if I'm in 3 different car clubs, I can easily, with the same login, navigate to, say, a different club altogether to be able to interact with a forum or my members for a different car club altogether. So that's the power of RumbleSeat. It's one account that gives you the power to interact with all clubs. It's one user profile across all those different clubs. So pretty exciting, platform as it relates to car club websites and car club groups. So if you have any questions about how to take advantage of RumbleSeat, we invite you to firstly create your free RumbleSeat account. and just go through the process of creating a club. But if you ever have questions, make sure to reach out to our team. Be happy to help you out or answer any questions you may have.